So I found this video. Hacker exposes the darkest online cult started by a 15-year-old. I watched like 5 seconds of this and I knew I had to react this on my channel. This is wild how easy these predators can get to kids nowadays. And the owner of Roblox, he doesn't care. He literally doesn't care.
Bitch. The door.
So yeah, without any further ado, let's just see what's going on here.
It all started with him luring minors on Minecraft to extort and make them self-harm.
How many members does 764 group have?
20,000, 30,000.
20,000
Oh, it's huge. They have an over 240-page manual on how to do this to children. They share amongst each other. 17-year-old member Nino live streamed himself attacking an 82-year-old man, and 2 weeks later, he murdered a 74-year-old woman on video who he believed to be Roma to prove his loyalty to the group.
That's the worst death possible.
And they're laughing about it. So I went into the 15-year-old that started it. He started luring minors from Minecraft. That's where it all began. It all started with him luring minors on Minecraft to, sextort them and make them self-harm. The group was influenced by Order of Nine Angles, which is a Satanist group outside of the internet. Which is a combination of Satanism, neo-Nazism, occultism, and all kinds of things. So, obviously that goes with, if I want to just read a list, it's rejected empathy, promoted ritual violence, belief in culling, which if you know what culling is, that means that real power comes from harming others without hesitation. So that's like a whole Satanist belief. And then there's a ton of offshoots, a ton of these other groups that I have notes that, no exaggeration, this long, full of different groups that are doing the same thing, full of members.
Jesus.
How many members does this 764 group have?
If I don't have an exact number on it, but if I had to guess, 20,000, 30,000.
20,000 people.
Oh, it's huge. Like, there is no shortage of these scumbags. No shortage.
You know what's scary? Is that back in the days, people had to really travel. They have to really talk to each other to find out their communities. Like, you actually had to have a conversation with people in order to figure out their beliefs, if they actually were in the same path as you. Nowadays, you can just hop online and find communities. I'll tell you that Discord is really good. This is, together, in general, like, the internet is amazing. It can connect people, but it can also connect these sort of people that are just out there to do nefarious things. And the numbers, I'll tell you that, the numbers are crazy. If they work in numbers, in any sort of capacity, if you're working in numbers, you're going to be better. So imagine just, bro, it's crazy, man. I can't even imagine.
The average vulnerable target that they're going for is 9 to 17 years old.
9
to 17, that's the average. They'll go for anybody, but that's usually what they run into in these games like Minecraft and Roblox and other social media apps. And without going into more of these notes, because I'm just trying to hit some key points and not forget them, they're targeting minors, and I have a few screenshots to show you this, on mental health forums. So they'll go to a mental health forum where they see somebody is struggling as a kid, saying that they're either being bullied in school and they don't want to live anymore, or that they're self-harming already, and they'll pretend. So they lure from those groups, they groom them by trying to be their friend or pretend to be their boyfriend, and give them actual mental health therapy. Sorry, it's hard for me to even say this. Mental health therapy, and I'll read those conversations, some of the grooming that they do, and they even have playbooks on how grooming and sextortion. They have an over 240-page manual on how to do this to children that they share amongst each other. And they, like I said, they're all in mental health forums. They even I have a tweet that I took a screenshot of. I'll show you, where it's a group that where they're saying, like, join here if you're struggling with mental health, and it's just a direct link into one of these horrible groups that, as soon as that person or child, mostly children, believes that person's their boyfriend or their friend or their girlfriend, one or the other, and they send those nude photos, the second that happens, then they go right into the extortion and extreme violence. They want to create what's called, and like I said, I'll get into the slang, they want to create what's called a lore book. So it's like a collection of all of their extortion material that they could use against them. And
Nah,
do I need?
excuse me. No, I had to stop. But excuse me. If you're doing this, you're going to hell, and you deserve it. How can you be this evil? You see that if someone's struggling, a kid, well, you don't care. If you're willing to exploit them sexually, you obviously don't care about their well-being. So yeah, you deserve to go to hell, man. The hell. I'm sorry for stopping.
Need to use any more of these? Let me see. Yeah, so, okay, in these notes too, over 250 ongoing investigations by the FBI, briefings at Europol conference, FBI classified 764 as as a domestic
Terrorist
group. Yep. And then there's a bunch of people that were arrested. But where do you see the time that a lot of these people got? It's nothing, man. It's nothing. And some of them are having children kill themselves. Like, it's mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing. But I'll read.
Are you talking about time they got in prison?
Time they got in prison. Yeah.
They've had people kill themselves through extortion, and what is the sentence? What is it?
So I'll read you some of the stories. Okay. So these are just notes that I wrote for this podcast, and I figured that I would do a lot of it off the top of my head, but it gets me so worked up that I'm probably better off just making sure I get this on point. But 14-year-old, and I'm just going to use their first names, the victims, even if it is public. 14-year-old Elliot joined a black metal music forum during a tough family transition and started at a new high school. 764 members pretended to be supporting quote-unquote friends, directing him to gore sites, which later escalated to him carving satanic symbols into his skin and producing hundreds of self-harm photos categorized as CSAM.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. How many members? 64. Did I hear that correctly? But this is a Truman Show. You're telling me that there's 64 people out there willing to pretend that they like you in order to get you to self-harm, in order to get you to send them pictures so they can extract something from you. Money. What? Listen, is this even about money? At the end of the day, is this even about money? I think they just like to do this. Nah, man, it's so weird.
That was one, and something that I learned is that self-harm pictures within themselves, even if it's children, from what I read, is not considered CSAM, like child sexual abuse material, but if it is sexualized, it turns into child sexual abuse material. So that's a weird thing for me. I don't fully understand that. Yeah. Another one. A teenage girl named Eve was found in another Discord server. Discord's a chat application that a lot of them use, by a 764 member posing as a friend. He faked giving her a ton of affection, support, which in quotes, which she desperately needed at that time, which is what she said. Then extorted naked photos and forced her on video to carve usernames deeply into her skin, and strangle and behead her pet hamster. A member said, "Bite the head off, or I'll F your whole life up," in quotes. And later, she cut herself deeply in the bath to, as they told her to, turn the water red. Oh, no. And there's, a video of her in a bathtub that's red, full of her blood. They even sent a SWAT team to her home, as well as leaving permanent 764 scars all over her body. She's still in therapy. And she did all of this in her bedroom closet, and I have the pictures to show you this with this particular victim. A 25-year-old man, deep in depression, was targeted by a female that was also recruited into 764, so likely a victim herself that was converted into an extorter, which happens often, by the way.
That happened? That's common?
That's common because these kids, they're already, a lot of them struggling with mental health issues. They find a group that they think are their friends somehow, and then they start extorting other kids.
That's Stockholm.
So it's a vicious cycle that needs to be broken. She started, so in this particular case, the 25-year-old man, deep in depression, was targeted by a female, recruited into 764. She started daring him to commit self-harm videos, which later escalated to him dousing himself in gasoline, lighting himself on fire in his hotel room. As the group watched and laughed at him, he passed away, See screenshot I wrote of the virtual funeral, because that's what he said. Watch my virtual funeral. And I want you to hear these idiots in the YouTube video as this guy lights himself on fire.
Nah, you see, no, let's just stop here for a second. This might be dumb of me of saying, but that's why I believe in there's like, I don't actually believe in the Illuminati and all of this and that. You see the, what's it called? The Squid Games and all that. I think that's based in truth. Actually, I saw something. I saw an article that actually backs what I'm saying. I'll try to pull it out.
Pause.
I actually do believe that the rich, you see people that are extra wealthy, they don't have nothing to do, they're just bored. They have absolutely nothing to do with their money. So they start to resort to these things, to these sort of entertainment, decor. Because, bro, it's poor people that are doing it, because technically they're poor. They were poor at some point. They didn't have the funds, and they were still doing it in order to get the funds. So they were evil by birth. So imagine the people that have wealth, the people that can actually hide and have privacy and can do whatever they want. I don't think that the movies that we see are just imagination, because imagination can't go that far. Bro, I swear some of these are based in reality, and you can't tell me otherwise. Yeah, I just had to get that off. I'm sorry.
Bishkek, called Tashtar Ata. He found a spot in the snow, set up his phone, and lit himself on fire. The entire ordeal played out live on a Discord call. At least 29 users were in the server while it happened, as he was propping up his phone, sitting on the ground, praying, then dousing himself. Some were recording, others were cheering. In one clip, someone shouts out the group. Another calls her by name.
Shout out to Discord people. Fucking Xanax. Shout out to fucking 764.
Shout out to everyone fucking. Big shout out to Money and big shout out to SMLK. And we gotta say, it took you so fucking long. It was 6-3. 2-3 is better than 7-6-4.
That's the worst death possible, man.
You hear that? So he said he said that is the worst death possible, man. And they're laughing about it. And what you didn't see on the screen is a blurred video of him lighting himself on fire dead on the ground as these people are laughing at him and naming out their groups that are not associated to 764 but offshoots of 764.
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity.
So that's from a public YouTube video, but relates to that story I was just telling you. Another one, in one case, a person who was already arrested threw a brick through the window of a pregnant teen's car that was lured from Roblox. She threatened to report the group to NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the shock put her into cardiac arrest, killing her and the baby. The guy was arrested for being part of the meaning the 764 group, and he had his own offshoot, and was charging $50 to $200 for bricking, swatting, and doxing services. So bricking, like I said, I'm going to go over these terms, but bricking means show up at somebody's house and either throw a brick through their window, shoot it up with a gun, vandalize it, break windows, do something, record the video, and post it. And sometimes when they do this bricking thing, they'll do it to their own members to see if they're loyal and like won't call the cops, and if the cops come, they won't snitch. They'll literally do it as a loyalty test, which gets even worse in a bit. But that's what bricking is, and that guy is arrested. 22-year-old member of one of the groups kidnapped and raped a 12-year-old girl in Virginia. He was convicted and sentenced to, this is a long sentence, to 350 years in prison. 764 group also leveraged animal torture, incest, rape, self-harm, bestiality from their victims. 17-year-old member Nino live streamed himself attacking an 82-year-old man, and 2 weeks later he murdered a 74-year-old woman on video who he believed to be Roma to prove his loyalty to the group. He was only sentenced to 14 years, and I have a video of that, which is very disturbing. He hurt an old man terribly
14.
and murdered an old woman gruesomely live on Discord, the chat application, just to prove to these people that he had what it takes to be part of their group.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
And did you hear the sentence?
Where
14
they
years.
based that?
14 years.
Where was that?
Yeah.
I don't know off the
How do you
top of
only
my
get
head.
14 years?
I would imagine it wasn't the United States, because if you believe them to be Roma, that's like a usually other countries. So another one, a 13-year-old girl. This happened 4 days ago,
Where?
in Washington State. A 13-year-old girl was found hanging in a parking lot in Washington while live streaming her suicide. The chat was encouraging her to take her clothes off because they said it would be hotter, quote unquote.
Nah, bro, these people are sick. Nah, these people are way too sick, man. Nah, oi, I even felt something in my stomach right now. What are we doing? What are we turning into? Matter of fact, nah, we were always like this. Humans were always like this. But I thought we walked past this. Nah, this is just nasty. Nasty, bro.
And I have the article about that, but she it's the criminal that convinced her originally to live stream this was he was dubbed with hundreds of crimes, and he victimized more than 30 children alone by himself. This one guy. The 13-year-old girl was hanging in a parking lot dead, while the chat was telling her to get naked because it would be hotter. And that just happened, so I don't know about an arrest on that yet.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I wasn't ready for this. Like, I knew what I was coming for, but at the same time, I didn't. I'm always surprised by the fact that people, well, not people, but there's countries what are so lenient when it comes to trialing kids. They would just let them do what they want to do willy-nilly and just give them a couple months or even a year. If you kill someone, I know that you're kids, yeah, you don't know what you're doing, but once you pass that threshold, I think that you know. If you do this, I think that you do know what you're doing. You're evil, and it should be stopped as soon as possible. You can't kill 2 people and only get 14 years. That's mental. Mental. How are we just accepting this as a society? They're telling me that we've built systems, courts, laws to try people, to judge people, to be fair, and then we do this. Nah. I don't even care that these men are 15. Put them in jail, man. Throw the key away, man. Just leave them there. How can you be this evil? And you can tell me that, oh, if they're doing this online, it's not them actually doing it, so there's the disconnect there. Still, man, still. You know what's happening, bro. You see people dying in front of you. Not in front of you, but you know what I'm saying. And then you just go on about your day, your goods, and nah. This is a dangerous cult. They're not just killing themselves, they're killing other people. But yeah, I just had to share my thoughts on this. Appreciate you for being here. Have a good one.
Hello, pretty baby.